Welcome to the Trade Ladder with Kenny Brink. Today we're going to talk about how to get your first trade job, no experience needed. Nobody is born with trade experience. Every electrician, every plumber, every HVAC tech, they all had a day where they showed up to a job site for the first time, knowing absolutely nothing. The difference between the people who made it and the people who didn't wasn't experience. It was knowing how to get in the door. I'm going to show you exactly how to land your first trade job, no experience, no connections, no certifications required. This is how you step on the rung one. A quick reminder of where we are on that trade ladder. The trade ladder has 5 rungs: helper, apprentice, journeyman, foreman, owner, or management. Last video we talked about how to choose the right trade. If you haven't seen that one, go back and watch it first. I'll link it in the description. Today we're focused on rung 1, helper. This is the entry point. Every single person in every single trade started here. The goal of this video is simple: get you onto this rung as fast as possible. Here's what stops most people before they even start. They think they need experience to get experience. They apply online, hear nothing back, and assume the trades aren't hiring, or they don't qualify. That's not what's happening. The trades hire differently than office jobs. Most trades employers don't sit at a computer reviewing applications on Indeed all day. They're on job sites. They hire people they met. They hire people who showed up. They hire people referred by someone they trust. If you're applying online and waiting, you're playing the wrong game. Second mistake, I see people thinking they need certifications before they can apply. Those things help, but they're not required to get hired as a helper. Employers at rung 1 are not looking for certified professionals. They're looking for someone who shows up on time, works hard, doesn't cause problems. That's it. That is the job description for a helper. I started with nothing. No certifications, no connections in the industry. I showed up and said I wanted to work. That was enough to get started. The skills came after I was already on the ladder. Getting your first trade job comes down to 3 things: where to look, how to apply, and how to show up. Most people get the first one completely wrong. Some get the first 2 right, but blow it on the 3rd. I'm going to walk you through all 3 so you don't leave anything on the table. Let's go. Step 1, where to look. Most people start with online job boards. That is actually the least effective place to start for a helper position. Let me tell you where to actually look. Local union halls. This is the most overlooked resource for beginners. Every major trade has a local union. IBEW for electricians, UA for plumbers and pipe fitters, sheet metal workers, iron workers. Look up the local chapters in your city. Call them, walk in, tell them you're interested in starting an apprenticeship. You want to know when applications open. Some unions have open applications year-round. Some open once a year. Either way, get your name on their radar. Number 2, small contractors. This is where most helpers actually get hired first. That's where I did. Small plumbing companies, small electrical shops, small HVAC contractors. They hire helpers constantly. And they don't always post online. Drive around your area. Look for company trucks and vans. Write down the company's names. Look them up. Call the office. Ask if they're hiring helpers. You will get more responses doing this than applying online for a month. When I started, I knocked on doors. Literally, I found an HVAC truck parked at a job site, and I asked who was in charge. That is how I got my first real conversation. It felt uncomfortable. It really felt uncomfortable, but it worked. It really worked. Nobody remembers the application they submitted online. Everyone remembers the kid who showed up and asked for a shot. Number 3, active job sites. If you see construction happening in your area, a new building going up, a renovation underway, that is a hiring opportunity. Walk up to the site superintendent or foreman during a break, but be respectful and be brief. Tell them you're looking for a helper work and you're willing to start at the bottom. Not every site will have openings, but some will, and you will stand out immediately just by having the nerve to show up in person. Number 4, online if used correctly. Indeed, LinkedIn, local Facebook trade groups, they do work, but only for the positions that are actively posted. Search specifically for helper apprentice, laborer in your trade. Set up job alerts so you're notified immediately. Speed matters with online applications. Apply the same day they post. Most people wait a few days and the position is already filled. Step 2. How to apply. At the helper level, your resume doesn't need to be impressive. It needs to be clean, honest, and shows you are serious. If you're not serious, it's going to show. Here's exactly what to put in it. Your contact information, your name, phone number, email. Make sure your email looks professional. First name, last name at Gmail is fine. Not partyanimal99 at Hotmail. That will never work. Any work experience at all. Lawn care, construction labor, warehouse, retail, fast food. Anything that shows you've shown up to a job and done what you were told. Reliability is a skill they are hiring for at Rung 1. Any relevant training. OSHA 10 card? Okay, list it. Any trade school courses? List it. Clean driver's license? Yes, definitely list it. That matters more than most people realize because helpers often drive to supply houses and job sites. One line objective. Look for a position in the electrical trade where I can learn, work hard, and build a long-term career. Or plumbing, HVAC, whatever your trade is. This is it. One page, clean, no errors. Now here's the mistake most people make after they apply. They submit the application and wait. Don't wait. If you applied online, dropped off a resume, follow up with a phone call 1 or 2 days later. Don't wait for 3 days next week. Say your name. Say you applied for the helper position. Say you're very interested and wanted to make sure they received it. Most applicants never follow up. They wait for them to call. The one phone call puts you ahead of half the other people who applied. It takes 60 seconds and almost nobody does it. Step 3 is where most people lose the job before they even have it. How you show up to an interview or the job site on day 1. Tells the experienced trade person everything they need to know about you. Here's what showing up right actually looks like. Be early. Not on time. Be early. If the interview is 8, be there at 7:45. If your first day starts at 6, be there at 5:50. Tradespeople start early. If you can't be early to an interview, they already know you'll be late to the job. Dress for the job. You don't need to wear a suit, but show up clean. Work boots if you have them, jeans, a plain shirt. You want to look like somebody ready to work, not somebody who rolled out of bed. Bring hunger, not confidence. There's a difference. Confidence says I know what I'm doing. Hunger says I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I will work it out. At Rung 1, nobody expects you to know anything. They expect you to want to learn. Walk in with that energy. Be quiet and observant. This is one I wish someone had told me earlier. On the job site, especially your first day. Your job is to watch, listen, and do what you're told. Don't offer opinions. Don't tell them how things were done at your last job. Don't be on your phone. And definitely don't be on your phone. The helpers who move up to Rung 2 fastest are the ones who figured out that the first 90 days are about proving you belong, not proving you're smart. I remember my first week clearly. I didn't say much. I watched everything. I asked questions only when generally needed to. And I stayed late without being asked twice. By the end of the first week, the foreman knew my name. That matters more than any certification at any stage. Ask one good question per day. Not 20, just one. Ask something that shows you were paying attention. Hey, why do you run the wire this way? Or why do you run the pipe that way? Okay? That means a lot. That question tells a journeyman you're thinking. That's who gets trained. That's who gets moved up. One more thing before we wrap up. If you want to separate yourself before you even apply, get an OSHA 10 card. It's a 10-hour online safety course. It costs around $30. You can finish it in a weekend. When an employer sees it on your resume, it signals that you took initiative before anyone asked. At the helper level, that stands out immediately. I'll put the link up in the description. Let's bring it all together. 3 steps to get your first trade job. Step 1, where to look. Union halls, small contractors, active job sites, and online boards used correctly. Don't just apply online and wait. Show up in person whenever you can. Step 2, how to apply. Clean 1-page resume. Follow up by phone. 1 to 2 days after the job, not a week. Most people don't follow up. You will. Step 3, how to show up. Be early, dress ready. Come hungry, not confident. Stay quiet and observe. Ask one good question a day, one. And if you want to stand out before you even walk in, yeah, get your OSHA 10 card this weekend. Here's your action plan for this week. Pick 2 small contractors in your trade. Call them, not email, call. Tell them you're looking for a helper work. You're available immediately and you're willing to start at the bottom. 2 phone calls. That's the whole assignment for this week. Rung 1 is closer than you think. You just have to show up for it. Once you land that first helper job, you're on rung 1. The next question becomes, what do you actually do on day 1? What does a helper do all day? What are they watching for? What gets you noticed by the people above you on the ladder? That's exactly what the next video covers. What the helper actually does and how to make the most out of every single day on that rung. That video will be up shortly. If this helped you, subscribe to the Trade Ladder. Every week I put up honest, practical content for people building real careers in the skilled trades, and all the way up from helper to owner. Drop a comment below and tell me which trade are you trying to break into and what has been your biggest obstacle so far. I read every single one. See you on the next rung.